Hello. Today I would like to tell you how I would apply musical thought to playing a piece of music. As an example, I'm going to use the Barrett Melody number 6, the one in G minor. In Barrett, we're fortunate that he writes a bass clef for us to play against. So we have an idea now of what's happening harmonically. And if you look in the first measure, while we are playing, the bass clef instrument has a lot more shape and interest. We have a G minor, but he throws in an E flat at the top of a crescendo. There's a hairpin in the first measure, and then it relaxes towards the middle of the second bar, which gives you the feeling of coming to a rest. So if we play the first bar, that doesn't give us an indication of the harmonic motion that's going on in the bass clef. So I would suggest mirroring what you see in the bass clef, the shape, the energy, the development of harmonic interest. And when we get to the second bar, it's very important to play through the tie from the first beat quarter note D into the second beat 16th note D. So we get over the tie. Many times we hear this played where the quarter note D on the downbeat of the second bar is relaxed, and therefore the line stops rather than continuing through. So with the first couple bars, playing in accordance with what's in the bass clef, now we have upbeats. The upbeats have crescendo, and they're followed by a note that says rinforzando, RF, which means reinforced. It's a highlight, basically. So we have upbeats that go to a downbeat, followed by the rinforzando. So we need to show that direction. We don't want the upbeat notes to sound like this. We want them to go forward into the downbeat, and the downbeat is rinforzando, so a little highlight of that note. And at the end of the bar, we have a diminuendo back to the long D on the fourth bar. We follow that again with two eighth note pickups, again with crescendo. And starting here, we have this little sequence of upbeat, downbeat, upbeat, downbeat, upbeat, downbeat, even though it's divided in bars into 2 beats rather than 4 beats. But so in classical era music, whenever we have this upbeat, downbeat, and the notes the same, we want to show that the upbeat goes to the downbeat. Now, if it were reversed, if it was only a D upbeat into a downbeat that had 2 G's, you see the placement of the accentuation is on the first note. So when we have repeated notes in this style, if they are from previous to the beat into the beat, the second one, the one that's on the beat, gets the impulse. If they start on the beat and they're repeated, the one that's on the beat gets the impulse. Well, here it's an upbeat. And you can see that from the C's to the E flat, the same thing happens. And then we have it again. So the entire passage would sound like this if we follow the principle of upbeat, downbeat. Now, I'll point out also that in the bass clef, while we're playing that, each of those beats, in the fifth bar, the downbeat, and the third beat, and then the sixth bar downbeat, all have accents in the bass clef. So that reinforces that we should also put a little bit of an impulse or an inflection on those particular notes that coincide with the accents. In the seventh bar, we have rinforzando again, reinforced on that high B flat. So we can give that a little bit more strength. Think of it as a yellow marker highlight on the note. So from the pickup to the fifth bar, and then we follow the crescendo diminuendo in the last two bars that I just played. One other element that I would like to make sure that you're aware of is subdivision. And at the very beginning, the first bar, we need to place the eighth note in its rightful place, which is the end of 4. So we want to make sure that we practice with a metronome always, and proper use of the metronome would be to use it to monitor subdivisions, not just playing on the big beats of 1, 2, 3, 4, but we have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and in this case, 4 and 1. I hope this gives you a little bit of an idea about how I might look at musical considerations when playing a piece of music, and I hope it has helped you.